A massive winter storm is about to shut down 73 cities across America. The question is, will yours be one of them? Right now, over 300,000 homes are sitting in total darkness. Ice thicker than your thumb is snapping power lines like toothpicks from Mississippi to Virginia. But here is what nobody is talking about. This is just storm number 1. Storm number 2 is already forming, and the models are showing something we have not seen in 15 years. I am going to give you exact timing for when the storm hits your city. Not tomorrow, not this weekend. I am talking hour by hour, street by street. And if you stay with me until the 30-second mark, I will reveal which major cities are going to see over 18 inches of snow, and which ones are about to face the most dangerous ice storm in a decade. Here is your first reward: New York City, Philadelphia, and Boston. You are looking at peak snowfall rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour starting tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Long Island has already flipped to sleet. That means your snow totals just got cut in half. But the good news? This sets you up perfectly for storm number 2. Comment below right now with your city name, and I will personally reply with your exact forecast timeline. Do not wait. Over 12,000 people have already done this in the last hour. Let me show you what is happening right this second. Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati, you just wrapped up 10 to 15 inches of snow in the southern and central zones. Indianapolis, your totals hit 12 inches in some neighborhoods. Pittsburgh, you crushed it. Some areas north of the city saw 17 inches, and it is still coming down. But here is the twist. While the Midwest is getting buried in snow, the South is facing something far more dangerous. Memphis, Little Rock, Jackson, Mississippi, Shreveport, Louisiana. You are not getting snow. You are getting ice. Over 1 inch of ice accumulation. That is enough to snap tree branches, bring down power lines, and make roads completely impassable for days. Atlanta, you are right on the line. North of the city, Marietta, Roswell, Alpharetta, you are seeing ice. South of Atlanta, it is mostly rain. Birmingham, Alabama, same situation. Tuscaloosa got hammered with ice. Montgomery saw mostly rain with some ice mixed in. Here is a number that should shock you. Over 500,000 people across 8 states are without power right now, and that number is climbing every 10 minutes. Tennessee alone has 200,000 outages. North Carolina, Virginia, and South Carolina are adding another 250,000. Now let me tell you what is coming next, because this is where it gets serious. We are tracking storm number 2, and this one could be even bigger. I am going to show you the exact computer models, city-by-city impacts, and the one thing that could change everything. But first, let me give you the current situation for the Northeast, because this is where things are getting wild. Boston, you are in the middle of a blizzard right now. Logan Airport is reporting 2.3 inches per hour snowfall rates. That means if you are not prepared right now, you are about to be snowed in. Providence, Rhode Island, Hartford, Connecticut. You are seeing the same thing. 20 to 26 inches is possible by tomorrow morning. Portland, Maine. You are getting absolutely crushed. Some models are showing 30+ inches by the time this is done. Bangor, Augusta, you are looking at similar totals. This is a historic snowstorm for northern New England. Here is something critical. Newark, Trenton, and northern New Jersey started as all snow, but many areas have flipped to sleet. That cut your totals significantly. The good news? You are going to flip back to snow later tonight, and you could still pick up another 6 to 8 inches. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, you got the worst of both worlds. You started with snow, flipped to sleet and freezing rain, and now you are dealing with ice. Reagan National Airport recorded 0.4 inches of ice accumulation. That is enough to cause major problems. Roadways are a skating rink. Do not drive unless it is an absolute emergency. Richmond, Virginia, same story. You are seeing ice, not snow. Charlottesville, Fredericksburg, areas west of Interstate 95 are getting more ice than snow. Power outages are climbing rapidly across central Virginia. Now here is your 5-minute promise payoff. I told you I would show you exactly what is coming with storm number 2. Here it is. Next weekend, Friday night into Sunday, we are tracking a potential major winter storm from the Gulf Coast all the way to Maine. This is a Miller A storm system. That means it forms in the Gulf of Mexico and rides right up the east coast. Everyone gets snow unless you are too close to the center of the low pressure. Then you get rain. Let me break down the timing city by city. This is critical information. Houston, you are first. Friday, January 31st. Starting around 6 p.m. Central Time, you could see your first snowflakes. By midnight, we are looking at possible accumulation. How much? Models are split. Conservative estimates show 2 to 4 inches. Aggressive models show 6 to 8 inches. Either way, this is a big deal for Houston. Dallas-Fort Worth, your window opens slightly earlier. Friday afternoon, 2 p.m., cold rain begins. By 6 p.m., it flips to snow. Overnight Friday into Saturday, heavy snow is possible. We are talking about 6 to 12 inches across the metro area. Plano, Arlington, Irving, Fort Worth, all of you are in the bullseye. Oklahoma City, Tulsa, you are looking at Friday evening as well. Snow begins around 5 p.m. and continues through Saturday morning. 8 to 14 inches is on the table. This could be the biggest snowstorm Oklahoma City has seen in 5 years. Memphis, Nashville, Louisville, here is your timeline. Snow begins Friday night between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Peak snowfall rates hit between 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. Saturday morning. We are looking at possible 10 to 16-inch totals. Nashville, you could see your biggest snow since the storm of February 2015. Little Rock, Arkansas. Your snow starts Friday around 9 p.m. By Saturday morning, 6 to 10 inches is likely. Jackson, Mississippi. This is where it gets tricky. You are on the southern edge, so you might see a mix of rain and snow. But if the storm tracks 50 miles farther south, you could see 6 inches of snow. If it tracks north, you get rain. This is a razor-thin line. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Mobile, Alabama. You are likely too far south for significant snow with this system. But, and this is a big but, if the European model is correct and the low pressure dips farther south than expected, you could see snow. I am talking about measurable snow in New Orleans. That would be incredible. Right now, the odds are low, maybe 20%, but it is not zero. Birmingham, Alabama, Huntsville, you are in a better position for snow. Friday night into Saturday morning. 6 to 12 inches is possible, especially in northern Alabama. Huntsville, you could see more than Birmingham because you are farther north and at higher elevation. Atlanta, here is your moment. Friday night, snow begins between 10 p.m. and midnight. By Saturday morning, the northern suburbs, Marietta, Roswell, Cumming, Gainesville, you could have 8 to 12 inches. Inside the perimeter, downtown Atlanta, 4 to 8 inches is more likely. South of Atlanta, totals drop off quickly. Chattanooga, Knoxville, you are looking at significant snow. Chattanooga could see 10 to 14 inches starting Friday night. Knoxville, similar numbers. The Smoky Mountains could see over 20 inches if everything lines up right. Charlotte, North Carolina, Greensboro, Raleigh, this is your chance for a real snowstorm. Charlotte, snow begins Friday night around 11 p.m. Peak snowfall Saturday morning between 4 a.m. and noon. We are looking at possible 8 to 14 inches. Greensboro, you are in the sweet spot. 10 to 16 inches is on the table. Raleigh, you are on the eastern edge, so 6 to 10 inches is more realistic. But if the storm wobbles west, you could see more. Columbia, South Carolina, Charleston, Columbia is looking at 6 to 10 inches. Charleston, you are close enough to the coast that you might see less, maybe 3 to 6 inches, but any snow in Charleston is a big deal. Asheville, North Carolina, you are in the mountains, so you are going to get crushed. 15 to 24 inches is possible. This could be a crippling snowstorm for the Asheville area. Now, let me jump to the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, because this is where the European model is showing something huge. Washington, D.C. This storm could redeem your snow season. If the track is right, you are looking at 10 to 18 inches starting Saturday morning and continuing into Saturday night. Baltimore, similar forecast. Wilmington, Delaware, same thing. Philadelphia, you are looking at 12 to 20 inches if this track verifies. The city could see some of the heaviest snow of the entire winter season. This would start Saturday morning and continue through Sunday morning. Trenton, Cherry Hill, King of Prussia, all of you are in the heavy snow zone. New York City. Here is your forecast. Saturday morning, snow begins. Light at first, then rapidly intensifying by Saturday afternoon. Peak snowfall rates Saturday evening, 2 to 3 inches per hour. By Sunday morning, we are looking at 14 to 24 inches across the 5 boroughs. This would be the biggest snowstorm New York has seen in 3 years. Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island. All of you are getting buried. Long Island, same story. Nassau County, Suffolk County, the Hamptons, you are looking at 16 to 26 inches. Coastal areas might see slightly lower totals if you get some mixing with sleet, but even the conservative forecast shows over a foot of snow. Westchester County, Yonkers, White Plains, New Rochelle, you could see higher totals than the city. 18 to 28 inches is possible in the northern suburbs. Connecticut gets hammered. New Haven, Bridgeport, Stamford, you are looking at 16 to 24 inches. Hartford, Waterbury, you could see 20 to 30 inches. This would be a paralyzing snowstorm for Connecticut. Providence, Rhode Island, Worcester, Massachusetts, you are in the danger zone. Providence could see 18 to 26 inches. Worcester, even more. 24 to 32 inches is possible. Boston, this could be your biggest snowstorm in 5 years. We are talking about 20 to 30 inches across the metro area. Quincy, Cambridge, Somerville, Brookline, all of you are looking at massive totals. The South Shore and North Shore could see even higher amounts. Portland, Maine, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Manchester, Concord, you are all looking at major snow. Portland could see 24 to 34 inches. This would shut down the city for days. Portsmouth, similar forecast. Manchester and Concord, inland areas could see slightly less, maybe 18 to 28 inches, but this is still a major event. Bangor, Maine, Presque Isle, you are the northern edge. Bangor could see 16 to 24 inches. Presque Isle might see less, because you are farther north and could be on the edge of the heaviest snow. Now here is the critical question. When does this storm end? Let me give you the end times city by city, because this is just as important as when it starts. Houston and Dallas, your snow ends Saturday afternoon, around 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Oklahoma City, Saturday evening around 6 p.m. Memphis and Nashville, Saturday night 10 p.m. to midnight. Atlanta and Charlotte, Sunday morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, Sunday morning, 8 a.m. to noon. Philadelphia, Sunday afternoon, noon to 3 p.m. New York City, Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Boston, Sunday evening, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Portland, Maine, Sunday night, 10 p.m. to midnight. These are estimates based on current model data. The timing could shift by a few hours as we get closer, but this gives you a solid framework for planning. Now, let me address the elephant in the room. How confident are we in this forecast? Here is the honest truth. Storm number 1, the one happening right now, was nailed by the Google Weather Next model a full week in advance. That is the artificial intelligence weather model. It locked in on the ice storm across the south when other models were showing all snow. It predicted the heavy snow in the northeast when others were more conservative. It has been scary accurate. Guess what? That same Google Weather Next model is showing a major snowstorm for next weekend. The European model is showing it. The European AI ensembles are showing it. The traditional European ensembles are showing it. That is 4 different high-quality models all agreeing on a significant winter storm. The only holdout? The GFS American model. It is showing a weaker system that stays in the Gulf and does not develop. But the GFS has been consistently underdone with these winter storms all season long. I am putting more weight on the European and AI models right now. Confidence level? I would say 70 to 80% that we see a significant winter storm next weekend. Where it tracks exactly, that is where the uncertainty comes in. A 50-mile shift in the storm track could mean the difference between 6 inches of snow and 18 inches of snow. Here is what you need to do right now. If you live anywhere from Houston to Boston, you need to prepare. Stock up on groceries today or tomorrow. Get your medications filled. Make sure you have flashlights, batteries, and candles in case of power outages. Fill up your gas tank. Charge all your devices. Do not wait until Friday. By Friday, the stores will be packed, shelves will be empty, and gas stations will have lines around the block. Prepare now while you still have time. Let me give you the broader pattern, because this helps you understand why we are so confident in continued cold and storminess. The polar vortex is splitting in the stratosphere. This is a huge deal. When the polar vortex splits, it sends cold air flooding south into the United States. This is not a one-week event. This sets up a pattern that can last for weeks, even months. The North Atlantic Oscillation is going negative. That means blocking over the North Atlantic. When we see blocking there, storms get forced to track along the East Coast instead of going out to sea. That is exactly what we want for East Coast snowstorms. The Pacific North American pattern is positive. That means ridging on the West Coast and troughing in the east. Cold air funnels down from Canada. Perfect setup for winter storms. The Arctic Oscillation is going deep negative. That means massive blocking over the Arctic. Cold air gets displaced southward. Again, perfect for winter weather in the United States. Here is a number that should blow your mind. The European extended model, which goes out 6 weeks, is showing cold and stormy conditions all the way through March 12th. Not every single day, of course. We will get breaks, but the overall pattern is locked in for cold and snow. Some portions of the country could see nearly 4 feet of total snowfall between now and mid-March. 4 feet. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. But what about climate change? Should not winters be getting warmer? Here is the reality. Climate patterns are complex. Yes, overall global temperatures are rising. But that does not mean every winter, everywhere, is warmer. In fact, Arctic amplification can actually lead to more extreme winter weather in mid-latitudes because it disrupts the polar vortex. This is exactly what we are seeing right now. Let me give you some city-specific details for the current storm that is winding down, because some of you are still in the thick of it. Syracuse, New York, you are at 18 inches and counting. Binghamton, 16 inches. Albany, 14 inches. These are impressive totals. Buffalo, you are at 12 inches, but you have seen higher amounts south of the city. Orchard Park got 16 inches. Hamburg saw 15 inches. Erie, Pennsylvania, you are sitting at 14 inches. Meadville got 17 inches. This has been a monster snow for northwestern Pennsylvania. Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, you are in the 8 to 12 inch range. Not as much as areas to your north, but still a significant snow. Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, you are at 10 to 14 inches. Reading got 12 inches. Lancaster saw 8 inches before mixing with sleet. Cut your totals. Atlantic City, Cape May, you are dealing with a messy mix. 4 to 6 inches of snow and sleet combined. Not great, but you are on the southern edge. So this is expected. Harrisburg, York, Chambersburg, you saw snow flip to sleet and ice. Totals are in the 6 to 10 inch range, but with ice on top. Be very careful on the roads. Now, let me give you the power outage update, because this is critical for safety. If you are without power right now, here is what you need to know. Tennessee has 215,000 outages. Most of these are in the Memphis, Nashville, and Knoxville areas. Power companies are saying it could be 3 to 5 days before everyone is restored because of the ice damage. North Carolina has 130,000 outages. Most are in the Piedmont region, Charlotte, Greensboro, Winston-Salem. Ice brought down trees and power lines. Restoration efforts are underway, but it is slow going because crews have to navigate icy roads. Virginia has 90,000 outages, concentrated in the Richmond area, Charlottesville, and the Shenandoah Valley. Ice is the culprit. Power companies are bringing in crews from neighboring states to help with restoration. South Carolina has 45,000 outages, mostly in the upstate around Greenville and Spartanburg. Ice accumulation exceeded expectations in some areas. Mississippi has 38,000 outages. Jackson, Tupelo, and the northern part of the state got hit hard with ice. some rural areas might not see power restored for a week. Georgia has 22,000 outages, mostly north of Atlanta. Gainesville, Dahlonega, and the mountain areas saw significant ice. If you are in one of these areas without power, please find a warming center. Do not run generators indoors. Carbon monoxide poisoning is a real danger. If you are using a fireplace or wood stove, make sure your flue is open and you have proper ventilation. Check on your elderly neighbors. People over 65 are particularly vulnerable in these situations. Make sure they have heat, food, and medications. Here is another shocking number. Over 1,200 flights have been canceled today across the United States. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, the busiest in the world, has canceled over 400 flights. Charlotte Douglas has canceled 250. Dallas-Fort Worth, 200. Reagan National in D.C., 180. LaGuardia and JFK in New York, combined 320. If you have travel plans in the next 48 hours, check your flight status before heading to the airport. Better yet, call the airline and see if you can rebook for later in the week. Here is what the Weather Prediction Center is saying. They have issued a rare high-risk warning for heavy snow across portions of New England for the current storm. That is a level 4 out of 4. This is as serious as it gets for winter weather. If you are in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, or Maine, this is a life-threatening situation if you are caught unprepared. Now let me circle back to storm number 2 because I want to give you even more specific details. The Madden-Julian Oscillation, which is a tropical forcing pattern, is moving into phases 8, 1, and 2. These are the cold phases. When the MJO is in these phases, we typically see troughing in the east and cold air intrusion. This supports the idea of an active storm pattern over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Here is the bottom line. We are entering a period of winter weather that we have not seen in over a decade in some areas. If you are on the East Coast, from Texas to Maine, you need to be prepared for multiple winter storms over the next 3 to 4 weeks. Storm number 2 next weekend is the next immediate threat. After that, we are watching another potential system for the first week of February, and then possibly another one around February 10th to 12th. The pattern is locked in for cold and stormy. Now here is your teaser for my next video. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you the snowfall maps for storm number 2. Exact totals, city by city. I am also going to reveal which cities are at risk for another major ice storm. And I will show you the long-range pattern through the end of February. You do not want to miss it. Before I go, let me remind you. Comment below with your city name, and I will reply with your specific forecast. Over 15,000 people have already done this. Join the conversation. Let me know what you are seeing outside your window right now. If you found this information valuable, share this video with your friends and family. They need to know what is coming. Preparation saves lives. The more people who are prepared, the better we all handle these storms. Here are the final numbers for today. 325,000 homes without power across 8 states. Over 1 inch of ice accumulation in portions of Tennessee, Mississippi, and Louisiana. 2 to 3 inches per hour snowfall rates in Boston and Portland. 1,200 flight cancellations, and storm number 2 is 6 days away. Stay safe out there. Bundle up if you lost power. Check on your neighbors. Do not drive unless absolutely necessary, and get prepared for next weekend because it is going to be a big one. The next 72 hours are critical. The current storm wraps up by tomorrow evening. Then we have a brief break Wednesday and Thursday. Friday night, storm number 2 arrives. This is your window to prepare. One more time. Comment your city below. I will personally reply with your forecast. This is not automated. This is me taking the time to give you the information you need to stay safe. Winter is here, and it is not backing down anytime soon. We have snow, ice, and bitter cold ahead of us. But with preparation and accurate information, we will get through this together. I will see you in tomorrow's video with the complete snowfall maps and city-by-city breakdown for storm number 2. Until then, stay warm, stay safe, and stay prepared.